Namaste, hello, bonjour, ni hao, and I wish I could say hello in multiple languages this morning because we have attendees from 56 countries. It is truly a special and stunning morning, or maybe night for some of our colleagues, as we come together for the milestone year of the 5th annual IC3 Conference 2021. Buddha says, Buddha says, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. This has been the philosophy of the IC3 movement. IC3ians only think of how to light the career lamp for million zillion students across the globe. And with the intent of service in our heart, the path unravels itself to deepen our roots to serve schools, universities, and all stakeholders. We talk about cultural, industrial, AI revolutions. I feel that the IC3 movement has revolutionized the way career counseling can be so inclusive, diverse, global, and collaborative. It's time we experience the revolutionary, hybrid, 5th annual IC3 conference right here with me on the stage. Did you notice I have the whole stage to myself? And no, I too need a co-MC. And look what I've got. This makes me feel a little better. Yay! And there he is. That's the magic of hybrid conference. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend, colleague, and co-MC Joshua Craig from Canada. Josh is proud to represent his alma mater as a recruitment officer for the University of Toronto. Growing up with a school counselor for a mother, Joshua was keen to embrace a career in higher education, hoping to pass on the same kind of honest guidance and support he enjoyed as a student and son. With this uniquely personal connection to school counseling, Joshua jumped at the chance to volunteer with IC3, first as a member of the Content and Research Committee, and now serving as the committee's chair. I'm sure, Josh, you must be some coffee shots down to do this at 1 a.m. your time. Thanks.
Thank you, Kushbu. Indeed, I am a few espresso shots deep, but it's a true pleasure to be here with you, kicking off what is set to be an amazing hybrid conference. Of course, it's also my pleasure to officially introduce all of the attendees to you, my co-MC, Kushbu Bedi. Kushbu is the coordinator of Sanskar Valley School, Bhopal, and she has been in the world of education for 10 years now. Career counseling came to her as an accident that she still raves about. She's been an IC leader for 3 years now and is currently the chair of the IC3 Outreach and Social Media Committee. Kushbu counts herself lucky that she can impact a young student's life via a job she didn't even know existed, and which
recording in progress
through calling.
Absolutely, Josh, you nailed it just right. I'm reminded of Mother Teresa's words. You can do what I cannot do. I can do what you cannot do. Together we can do great things. Isn't this beautiful, Josh?
Yeah, you know, it really is. And those words really capture what I've learned volunteering with the IC3. When passionate people come together under a common cause and complement each other's skills, greatness is inevitable. In other words, to replace competition with collaboration, strengthening the IC3 mission and the individuals working to that end.
Oh yes, Josh, and I can't stop to mention how IC3 appreciates and values the uniqueness of each individual considering their capabilities and interest. We are all inclusive. We are IC3. We are here to celebrate the purpose of the IC3 movement. Provide career and college counseling to every single child in every single school.
You know, the IC3 movement has a presence now in 90 countries, and with a commitment to sensitize and empower school counselors. The IC3 movement has always maintained that it's essential to guide students with heart and wisdom.
Can't agree more. That brings me to talk about how IC3 is making a difference in the learning curve of each and every counselor through the IC3 Institute, regional forums, annual conference, IC3 festival, and ongoing virtual engagements. IC3 is relentless in providing training and curating resources to support the counselors to do heartful and mindful career counseling.
That's really what drove me to join the IC3 family, Kushbu. The fact that the IC3 movement looks to help each child find the best fit for their higher education. For some, that fit may be found abroad, but for so many others, it's going to be found at home. IC3 does not advocate for specific schools or study destinations, but rather the best option for each individual pupil. And while that spirit has made so much of the work I've done with IC3 feel easy, I have to admit, coming up with a theme for the conference this year seemed like a daunting task. But ultimately, we arrived at Onward. What a perfect theme. And it's precisely what we have all done as a collective. The IC3 movement has forged onward through our professional and personal challenges, even in the midst of a global crisis. So I say to all in attendance, let the spirit of moving onward inspire you to engage in this amazing hybrid event. Connect with the IC3 family, break free from your comfort zone, turn on your camera, unmute, and speak up. Have fun and relish a community that straddles the physical and the virtual, all in the push onward.
On that note, let us light the lamp, and for that, I now invite Mr. Shikhar Malhotra, Vice Chairman and CEO, HCL Healthcare and Trustee, Shiv Nadar University. Mrs. Roshni Nadar Malhotra, Chairperson, HCL Technologies and Trustee, Shiv Nadar Foundation. Mr. Vineet Gupta, Founder and Trustee, Plaksha. Jim McLaughlin, Co-Chair, IC3 Movement. And Ganesh Kohli, Founder, IC3 Chair, to please come and light the lamp on behalf of all of us IC3 volunteers. Lighting of the lamp signifies purity, goodness, knowledge, and wisdom. Just as light removes darkness, knowledge removes ignorance. A single lamp can light hundreds more. In the same way, one knowledgeable person can dispel ignorance in many minds. True knowledge doesn't lessen when shared or given away. It only grows manyfold.
In celebration and in true student-led style, we yield the stage to a group of wonderful students from Shiv Nadar schools who have dedicated time and love to the following performance.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. here. Leave my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah, yeah. Put my armor on, show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I'm in every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today.
Way down, only alone I will cry out loud. You'll never see what is hiding out deep down. Yeah, yeah.
I know I've heard you let your feelings go. It's the only way that should grow, but I'm too afraid now.
I put my armor on, show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, I show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I'm in every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident.
Yeah, I'm unstoppable today.
Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today.
I'm unstoppable today. I put my armor on, show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today.
Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today.
I'm unstoppable today.
Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today.
I'm unstoppable today.
Thank you. Thank you to our young but so talented superstars. Please let's hear it once more for how much we enjoyed and appreciate their performance.
This year marks the 5th edition of the IC3 conference. However, for many of you, this is your very first conference. Please, could you stand if this is the case for you? And for our attendees coming in from the virtual world, you can all wave your hand. It is a true pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 conference and to the IC3 family. We look forward to the new diversity and collaborative opportunities you bring with you. So thank you for being here. Please take your seat. Now, I also want to thank and welcome back returning participants. All of this work doesn't happen without your continued support. I would like to request those attendees who've attended all IC3 conferences to date, with this one being your 5th, to please stand, and of course, virtual attendees to wave their hands. Thank you, and congratulations to all of our 5th
Come inside.
timers. You are
Come
our
in, come in.
foundation, our growth, and it's your long-term feedback that makes us bigger and better. Thank you. Please be seated.
Three. Come.
IC3 is sensitive to provide scholarships to school counselors whose schools are not able to support them to attend the annual IC3 conference. Please may I request our IC3 scholars to please stand and virtual scholars to wave their hands. Do we have scholars here? I'm sure all the 100+ scholars from 27 countries will go back enriched and inspired. Please be seated. Thank you.
The IC3 Institute stands as a cornerstone of the IC3 vision and aims to bring counseling to every school by providing training and support to counselors globally, namely through its flagship one-year certification program. This year, during the conference, the 3rd cohort will graduate from IC3 Institute. Our first cohort had 23 graduates, and now 111 will walk the ramp with the 3rd cohort. And we are also continuing the celebration of the 2nd cohort, which graduated virtually last year. Some of them are also joining us this evening in person, and I think it would be a very proud moment for us all. We are also excited to announce that the Hyderabad Public School, Begumput, is the first school to be accredited by the IC3 Institute just this month, following a rigorous process of documentation, stakeholder surveys, and evaluation of the various standards. The school has obtained a Grade A certification. We would like to thank the school leadership for being thought leaders and torchbearers for this unique and much needed accreditation in the domain of college and career counseling. Now, you can all learn more about the IC3 Institute accreditation for schools via the sessions at 3:25 p.m. today virtually or 11:10 a.m. tomorrow, local time here in Delhi. For our friends joining virtually, please check the schedule in your mobile app for global timings in your time zone.
The IC3 Institute is committed to providing relief and support to families affected by the pandemic. The Institute is supporting women from families that have lost their primary earning member to COVID-19 by empowering them with training, resources, and employment opportunities as career counselors within IC3's global network of schools. IC3 Institute has enrolled 100+ women in this program, currently providing counseling and life skills support to these women, and aims to begin the first cohort with 150 women in September 2021. The Rebuild initiative aims to empower 500 such women. There are a number of ways you can support the IC3 Institute. Connect at IC3 Pavilion at the Shah Jahan Hall to get involved, show your willingness, and of course, you can donate to this philanthropic effort. You can also visit the IC3 Institute website for more information.
Now, the power behind any movement is the community that constitutes it. Our community member host schools have given their unconditional support to the IC3 movement, opening their doors and hearts to host events, provided accommodation for IC3 attendees, and brought many young volunteers to support events and initiatives. I request any school delegates from the host schools to please stand when your school names are called out. The British School of New Delhi, DPS Ghaziabad, Delhi Public School Sahebabad, GD Goenka Public School, the Heritage School Vasant Kunj, the Heritage School Rohini, Heritage Experiential Learning School Gurgaon, ITL Public School, KR Manga Valley, Pathway School Gurgaon, Pathway School Noida, the Scottish High International School, Shiv Nadar School Faridabad, Shiv Nadar School Gurgaon, Shiv Nadar School Noida, the Sri Ram School Aravali, the Sri Ram School Musari, Sun City School Gurgaon, and Vasant Valley School. On behalf of the entire IC3 community, I'd like to express our deepest, heartfelt gratitude for your kindness and grace. Your contribution has brought a light in every experience our delegates have felt. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly join me in giving them a round of applause.
Not just for this conference, but for so many IC3 activities. There are a number of committees in place who make it all happen, and they dedicate their time, effort, suggestions, and solutions on volunteer basis. Please show your appreciation for the following 9 committees. 5th Annual IC3 Conference Host School Committee, IC3 Advisory Committee, IC3 Africa Committee, IC3 Content and Research Committee, IC3 Inclusion, Diversity and Scholarship Committee, IC3 Indian Higher Education Committee, IC3 Latin America and Caribbean Committee, IC3 Outreach and Social Media Committee, IC3 Presidential Committee, and IC3 Sustainable Development Committee. We are truly indebted to you all. 1,000 thank yous. While much of the work is taken on by volunteers, there is also an IC3 team. A small one who take on so much, bear the brunt of all our ideas, and are the ones who dedicate their 100% of time to all things IC3. Anjali, Ashka, Simona, Garima, Aarti, Sandeep, Pankaj, Roshan and Abhishek. Thank you for everything you do for IC3 leaders and for the entire IC3 family. We used to invite all our leaders on the stage for a group photograph. However, we have outgrown the number that we can actually accommodate on the stage. So this reflects our growth trajectory.
Becoming a committee-based volunteer is not the only way to get involved. IC3 advocates are individuals who volunteer small amounts of time to support the mission of counseling in every school. They come from all walks of life: educators, parents, journalists, airline pilots, software engineers, lawyers, chartered accountants, musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, and students, for instance. So far, we have over 400 IC3 advocates from over 40 countries. Please accept our immense gratitude for all that you do for the IC3 mission.
As we now acknowledge our sponsors and partners, may I request all our sponsors and partners to please rise wherever they are, and our virtual guests to wave their hands. Join me in applauding and thanking our partners and sponsors for their support. We request you all to engage and express gratitude to them. Please take your seats. Now I would like to request all of you to join us in expressing special gratitude to our host university for their generous and committed contribution. Without their contribution, IC3 2021 would not have been possible. I would like to specially acknowledge Plaksha.
The attempt with Plaksha is to create a truly world-class, forward-looking university.
Great universities are about building a great community, a great set of faculty, great academic partners, and a great set of people backing the project.
At one end, you're doing AI and ML, and then you're looking at ethics and working environment, human psychology.
The curriculum at Plaksha will involve students to learn new age technologies along with the humanities and social sciences. And all this while also imparting leadership ability and developing their emotional quotient.
How excited we are to partner with Plaksha to really think about a new model of engineering education, which is grand challenge focused.
India is going to be at the forefront of engineering education innovation. Plaksha is going to play a really key role.
So some of the founders at Plaksha have been involved in building Ashoka University, which within a short span of time has become the torchbearer of a liberal arts education in India. Hopefully, Plaksha will do the same in technology.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Vineet Gupta, founder and trustee, Plaksha. Vineet is a great friend and supporter of the IC3 movement and a stalwart of the Indian education sector. Vineet is also founder and trustee of Ashoka University, where he has been involved in the effort since 2007. In an entrepreneurial career spanning 29 years, Vineet has built companies across different domains and feels that India has the opportunity to build very high quality institutions of higher education and thus drive excellence. Both Ashoka and Plaksha are steps in that direction. Vineet has been in leadership positions of education committees in various industry chambers like FICCI, ASSOCHAM, and PhD Chamber. He is the current co-chair for Education National Council at ASSOCHAM.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real honor and real pleasure to be here. I think the last time I was in a room with so many people was perhaps 2 years ago or 18 months ago. And it's often when Ganesh organizes the IC3. So real thank you for being here. I think the fact that we're all here together in this room is also testament to the power of what a community can do and how we can together shape school education and higher education in India. I've had the honor and pleasure of being associated with IC3 pretty much from the beginning. I think this is a journey that we've really navigated with Ganesh, with Swaraj, and it's very heartening to see where the movement has come. The fact that all of you've taken the pain to come from far corners of the country is testament to what this movement is. And really thank you for being here. I believe that as a country, we have an outstanding human capital. We have outstanding faculty, we have outstanding teachers, and we have great students who are hungry for knowledge, hungry for guidance, and hungry for mentoring. And together as institution leaders, as people who are building schools, as people who are leading schools, who are leading institutions, it is our responsibility to really nurture this human talent. And I believe this responsibility is even greater today than it was maybe even a few years ago. The pandemic, while it has demonstrated the power of the use of technology in education, I think it's also brought forth the limitations of technology. Education is far more than just imparting knowledge. Technology has really worked during this last 18 months. It's helped us navigate and helped us come where we are, but in some sense, it's also taken the soul away from education. I'm sure you're all dealing this question in your schools today. We deal with this in our universities. Students really want to know when can they come back. They really want to know when will classes start. They really want to know when can they be back and build friendships. So while I think great content and great knowledge got delivered on platforms that we all use. But somewhere, the peer interaction, the social interactions, the great friendships that students forge, all of this has taken a backseat. And I think in some sense, students are looking up to all of us as leaders, to really ask this question. I mean, what are you thinking for all of us, right? That's every time I think I meet a few students, that's the question in an eye. I mean, they're not so aware on what the regulations are, when government will allow us to open schools and colleges. But I think the question they ask is, are you going to open campus? Can we come back, right? I think that's the question I get asked most. So I believe the responsibility on all of us is even greater today than it was 2 years ago. And all of us, in that sense, have a responsibility to lead. While the world opens up, I think there are a couple of things we can do. First, of course, be extremely innovative in how we can get students back. I do believe that while classes are happening on technology platforms, maybe once a week or twice a week, students can be back on campus. And they can be back on campus, not studying, not being in the classroom, but perhaps just playing. Let them be in the playgrounds. Let them work with each other, dance together, do plays, do theater, but just be together. This could be 3 hours, 4 hours. I personally believe one day of the week is not going to make too much difference if that day is just kept as a day to come to school and be with each other, interact with each other. I think the second responsibility we may have is to invest more in technology. Now that's a tough question all of us are dealing with. As school administrators, as leaders, it's a double whammy. The pandemic hasn't helped. The last 18 months have been tough. Incomes of all schools, all institutions are affected. And on top of that, you have the responsibility of really upgrading everywhere, curriculum, technology. But I think it's also time, one of those moments in history when you have to really have compassion and empathy take center stage and really say, look, this is the time to invest. This is the time again to rebuild institutions. And all of us have a commitment to do this. I'm very honored, and it's a real privilege to also announce the launch of Plaksha University this year. We open on October 4th in Chandigarh. It's been a very, very exciting journey, and Plaksha is really envisioned as a new age technology university, a 21st century engineering institution. And some of you may ask that why a new university in technology when so many already exist? Well, we fundamentally believe first that technology is impacting everything around us. Technology is impacting education, technology is impacting healthcare, technology is impacting banking, money, pretty much everything. And I believe technology has really become like reading, writing, math, right? It has to be embedded in every part of our curriculum. So Plaksha is thinking about technology virtually in an interdisciplinary manner where technology combines with business, technology combines with biosciences. We are collapsing the boundaries of engineering disciplines itself. So we are combining electrical, mechanical, and computer science to have a degree called cyber physical system. So really fundamentally reimagining engineering and technology education. Secondly, we do believe that the greatest opportunities in the 21st century for students are going to be at the intersection of solving grand challenges and technology. The use of technology to craft solutions for healthcare, for agriculture, for cybersecurity. I think that's where the greatest opportunities are, both if students want to work and if they want to be entrepreneurs. So Plaksha has a vision for all its curriculum to be focused on grand challenges. So you do a degree in a discipline, but you also specialize to solve a big problem. And lastly, creators first. The country needs many people who can create jobs, many people who can create innovation. We do want the next generation of top companies to come from India. And Plaksha is deeply embedded in that mission. I would like to close by saying that I've always believed that this century for education is ours. We do have the power to create institutions which will define how school education and higher education will be, not only in India, but perhaps around the world. And I think collectively, we can walk that journey. Thank you so much for being here and look forward to interacting with you.
Thank you so much for your words, Mr. Vineet Gupta. I would now like to thank our co-host universities for their contribution to the annual IC3 Conference 2021. I would like to acknowledge Flame University here. Thank you so much for your support. And now our second co-host, Shiv Nadar University.
Shiv Nadar University is more than just an educational institution. It's where thought leaders of tomorrow are groomed. With programs ranging from bachelor's to doctoral levels across 5 schools, our students avail comprehensive programs with a multidisciplinary approach. Our vibrant campus is home to unparalleled energy and nurtures collaboration and excellence. We encourage holistic development of our students. No wonder we have been accorded the highest of merits. Come, experience the new age of holistic education at Shiv Nadar University.
Awesome. Please know we hold immense gratitude in our hearts for you. This is possible only with your support. Thank you so much.
Now it's my pleasure to recognize our technology partner, CREA University, without whom our venue internet access would not have been possible. Those of you here in person can enjoy the Wi-Fi for the duration of the conference using the network and password information on the screen now, which is also conveniently listed on a card located inside your name badge. I'd also like to take a brief moment to highlight the amazing IC3 mobile app, something I have used quite frequently over the past few days. If you haven't already downloaded the app, please do so now via the QR code displayed on screen. This app is truly amazing, and it's the best way to maximize your time at the conference, whether here in person or joining virtually like me. Once downloaded, you can pair it with your LinkedIn account to make profile setup a breeze. Within minutes, you can view all the registered delegates, start connecting with colleagues, exchanging contact info, and setting up one-on-one meetings. What's more, the app is the easiest and most effective way to build your own custom schedule here at the conference.
I found a Hindi couplet that perfectly describes the work of our next speaker. हमको तो बस तलाश नए रास्तों की है.
I am always in search for new pathways and breakthroughs.
आओ मिलके मंजिल खोजें.
I call upon all of you to come join me in my journey to the destination.
One person who has cast a spell on all of us has magical ways of getting the best out of us. Someone who's gifted to bring us all together for a revolutionary cause in dynamic ways.
This person is a teacher and a counselor, serving the education industry for the last 23 years, and a co-founder of the AHA movement, bringing meditation and mindfulness into everyday life.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you have to be Ganesh Kohli, founder IC3 movement.
Like every year, we are running behind schedule, and I'm going to try and bring us back on schedule. So although I always promise it'll be shorter, but then inevitably something else happens. Is it on? All right, we all kind of got vaccination, but I just wanted to tell you that gratitude, and it's not me saying it, but gratitude really is the best vaccine, the best antioxidant, antitoxin, antiseptic. And I just feel very grateful right now that we're all in one room together after 2 years. And I think just that fills my heart right now. And I'm so grateful for every single one of you who's present here. I thank particularly Shikhar and Roshni for making it here today. Thank you so much. And every single friend who's joining us virtually, I can see so many friends. And you know, we can spotlight some of them randomly, just kind of get them involved a little bit. This is the new reality of the world we live in. So a warm welcome to everybody. Thank you for being here. I know so many of you are up all night. Joshua's at 1:30 a.m. now, his time. And we're so grateful for everything that you do. You know, I was thinking this morning, and I've been thinking about what I'm going to say. The words that came to me were belief, service, courage, blessing, and miracle. Really, what we got happening here is we believe that we can make this happen. That love will actually come over fear, that we will be able to bring some people out and come into a physical space, and we managed to do that. I think it's a lot of service, courage of a lot of IC3 volunteers, the IC3 team, the support and the blessings of so many silent supporters, silent individuals, and it's almost a miracle. This is the first conference at the Taj Palace in 1.5 years. The first one. And, you know, so it's, I had one of the banquet staff tell me, thank goodness you did this, because hopefully you'll inspire other people to do this. I was sitting at home for 6 months, and I had all of these challenges, and I just feel so great to say thank you or welcome to guests again. So I think our lives had come to a standstill, and congratulations for coming out of this. I just wanted to also express my gratitude to an IC3 volunteer who's not here with us today. You know, a lot of us who stand on stage, etc., we're really standing on the shoulders of a lot of people, and I think that there's a lot of people who silently are IC3. And I generally don't, you know, I'm not at a loss for words, but on the 1st of February, we had a host school meeting at Sun City School. Jyotsna ma'am was there. In 2020, we were to do the conference. We had some planning meetings. I know that she was there for some of those. And she very silently served. These are her pictures from the 2019 conference. I know she's a friend to many of us, but you know, I just wanted to, can we go back? Sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to tell Nandini and Subir, who I hope are watching or will watch this, her children, who are young and are students at the Shivnadar school in Noida, that your mom created this conference. Your mom actually cares deeply about purpose and direction, and you know, as you live a life of purpose and love, and you honor your mom. Jyotsna ma'am, we love you, we miss you. Thank you for creating this space for us. And we're fortunate that, you know, we have all our other volunteers who've gone through some very challenging times but are still with us. And we are, I know some of them came back from the brink, but it's been an incredibly hard time for many of us. And I just want to acknowledge that. I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat some of this. Young people are leaving schools like airplanes without a navigation system. We have a bunch of grumpy 35-year-olds in the world out there who are really angry. And they constantly talk about work-life balance. Work is the punishment they have to endure for a life that they get at the end of the day or on the weekend. God bless this world. We are really not going wrong in colleges and in our first jobs. We are missing the point inside schools. And while we have great math teaching and great English teaching and great physics teaching, every young child needs purpose and direction. We can't let them out like airplanes without a navigation system. And this whole narrow definition of counseling, we need to keep challenging it. Counseling is not about going to college. Counseling is not about applying to university. Counseling is not for kids in 11th and 12th grade. Counseling is for every kid. Counseling is a function that every teacher needs to have some proficiency with. Every teacher needs to be a 10% career and college counselor. And when that happens, young people find the Harry Potter effect with their academic materials. When I know what I'm studying, who is going to use it, where will it be used, how will it be used? I study geography with a purpose, I study history with a purpose, I study physics with a purpose. The 7th grader needs to know and have a context on where and what is going to happen. We come from that generation where we were told, please study now, you'll use it after 20 years. That, the kids are not going to enjoy that. And boredom is a crisis among children, seriousness amongst educators, bigger than the pandemic. And that pretty much gets carried into the workforce. So I invite all of us to help young people find purpose and direction while they are in school, find meaning in what they are studying, how they are doing it, and practice the counseling laboratory pedagogy. What are we building here? A community that wishes to serve, that wishes to take some of their time and devote to service of others, a community that is in service of peace on the planet through purpose and direction for our children. You know, I'm an engineer by education, but also by accident. And I've always seen the value placed on smartness, intellect. And you know, where is kindness and love? If I talk about kindness and love, and you know, in all my 400 plus university visits in the US, it almost made academicians awkward to talk about kindness. I mean, this is not an academic discipline. To talk about love, to talk about service. So I'd really, really invite all of us to know that this is our mission. It's not just important what we do, it is critical how we do it. And if you ever find any one of us losing our humility, you know, if you please report it back to us. Because I encourage all of us to carry a knife in our pockets. Not a physical knife, but an energetic knife, and chop that ego. Because the educator ego is the most dangerous thing that is actually damaging the planet. We got to constantly have that knife, and we got to go back and say, okay, what does the kid need? What does counseling really mean? I know we've got our own definitions, and I'd really want to change that. And the last piece on purpose is we've seen comparisons happen in school. I failed in Hindi when I was in 5th grade, and my mother was a Hindi teacher. God bless me. You know, imagine, I was shamed in front of the whole family. It was traumatic. But why do I need to know it just as good Hindi as anybody else knew in 5th grade? We've just compared our children, and we've bred competition. When that became acute, we got violence, and we have a lot of questions to ask ourselves. You know, this initial comparison is breeding violence, and what we cultivate grows. If we cultivate competition and comparisons in school, that's what we will have. So at IC3, we really do not want to encourage any kind of competition. Competence comes from the same root. And when young people discover their competence, they're going to be joyous, happy, purposeful. While we are moving very rapidly, and I know many of us have talked about it, our direction is really important for us. We are really here for a reason. And our focus now is going to be this year on humanizing. We've gone from fence sitters to participants to immersion to transformation. And now it's all about humanizing this whole process. To go from further commoditization and commercialization of education to the humanization. I don't know if you know, but the total fees collected by all schools in India is a very small fraction of what the coaching institutes generate. It's actually less than 3%. And we really need to empower schools through counseling, through every other means. So thank you for being here and encouraging us. We were told that, this is not possible when we began in 2016. We need 1.2 million counselors. We need to change the system. I want you to know that we are going to keep working till the very point that we have counseling in every school. And we are going to continue to focus on service as an organization, as individuals. We honestly we aren't worried about IC3. IC3 is not the end. IC3 is a means to an end, and we hope that all of us can join in and really help realize this vision of counseling in every school. Through this year, we've worked with 6,000 plus teachers on meditation mindfulness sessions. We've had a lot of other initiatives. You heard about the Rebuild initiative, and we're helping women from families to build their lives again. Please hire all the principals that are here, all the other individuals. Please hire those women, recruit them as counselors in your school. We are training them. And finally, we are in very uncertain times. I know that these 2 days will not be perfect, that we may not always live up to your expectations. But we're going to keep trying to make it as good as we can in the current circumstances. So please forgive us if you find that we're falling short on any of your expectations. We will do our best. We believe in working on ourselves and not focusing on the outside. But we take feedback very, very seriously, and we would love to hear your feedback. And if there's anything that we can help to improve your experience, please let us know. And while I know that the thank yous have been said to everybody, I have to acknowledge that I was going to be in the Himalayas probably 5 or 6 years back. If I had my way, the only reason I stand here is because of my wife, Dr. Preeti Kohli, and I would not be half the person I am, and IC3 would not exist if she had not stopped me. Because I really feel that, we belong to Mars sometimes. When we are having conversations with people, we just don't know what to say because it all morphs into some kind of a transaction. And we are really looking for purpose. And people said, how do you get 600 odd volunteers in 90 odd countries in a space of 4 years? And how do you get so much going on? I said, it's purely because the purpose is higher than the people. When the purpose is higher than the people, then, we don't get lost. And IC3, although, feels like sometimes that there's acknowledgement, IC3 is actually a collective effort. It's not a fiefdom of any individual organization or institution. Every host school, every sponsor, all the different supporters, volunteers, thank you so much. And over to you, back to you, Khushbu. Thank you so much, everybody.
Well, a very big thank you to Ganesh. As always, your words bring out the passion in us all. I know I speak on behalf of everyone in attendance when I share that you play such an enormous role, not only in bringing people to the IC3 movement, but also in making the movement truly feel like a family. I would now also like to express my immense gratitude for the opening plenary sponsor, Huron University, Canada.
you shouldn't choose a one-size-fits-all education because you weren't meant to fit in. Consider a university that challenges you to show up and show off the ways in which you're going to change the world. Because we are one of Canada's oldest liberal arts universities, offering an academically elite yet accessible education since 1863. Looking to make your mark in the world? Want to gain the skills and connections to do so? Choose a university where you actually can do that and become a true leader with heart.
From one humble Canadian, thank you so much for your support.